Liu Kang? Oh hey, welcome back everyone, Scotty Kombat here. I got visions, and that's because there's some information out there right now confirming that we might have some Kombat Pack 3 characters. I feel like that son from Teletubbies. In all serious, welcome back everyone. I do want to share some information regarding characters that are currently in the data files thanks to Interloco. I'm sure some of you guys are already aware of this, but I want to share my takes on it as well, who I would like to see, as I'm sure you may have saw in my beginning visions. And those characters right there are the talked about characters that have been seen recently. And look, in all seriousness, I do like to think I do have a little bit of self-awareness. I guarantee most of you guys probably don't like the fact that I'm a fan of Deborah, or maybe like some people, you don't care that I'm a fan of Deborah and you just really don't like Deborah yourselves. In that case, that's really cool. But I do want to talk seriously about these characters for a moment, as it's likely we might see at least one or two of these in Kombat Pack 3, and seriously, who knows, there actually is a chance we could see all three of them. It's not confirmed, but the characters' names are in the files. Now, I want to pack a little defense before people come straight out saying, there's no way any of these characters could be KP3 characters. I mean, in all fairness, you got a point. But people were also saying Floyd wasn't going to be in the game. In fact, his files were even removed in the game recently, and then he just reappeared. Hey man, we have Floyd in Mortal Kombat 1 now. I think there's all kinds of possibilities, to be honest. And the hints for KP3 by NRS are still getting thrown around, giving some of us copium. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing this name, but remember, Fate Unknown was accurate on everything. So even if he was accurate on his very last post saying KP3 was cancelled, he did share it would be possible that we would still see two more characters after KP2, because it's likely wherever they're at in KP3 will be released in MK1 after KP2 is done. However, that's just in theory if we don't get Kombat Pack 3. I still think it's very likely that we'll get something, that if the game wraps up with T1000, we'll still see a couple characters after that. A few of the notable names are Kotal Khan, Deborah or a Chitin, which is Deborah's race for those that don't know, and Nightwolf, which honestly I thought we were going to get Nightwolf in the beginning of MK1. I thought Nightwolf would have been a main roster character. I guess you could say my taste in characters is somewhat meta because I really love the ninja characters, but Nightwolf has always been one of those characters that's not a ninja that I really like. Again, with his name in the files, Deborah's name in the files, and Kotal Khan's name in the files, out of the three, I would love to see Deborah and Nightwolf. However, according to some, it may seem that Kotal Khan's the more likely choice in this position. And I normally don't talk about the gender bending of characters. I'm really not big on it. I would have preferred the male Cyrax in Sector, but Nightwolf as a mantle, having a female Nightwolf, I thought would have been pretty cool, honestly. I'd be really happy to get it. I want to share a little fun fact here too, that Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat 11 is the dad of Amber Midthunder, which was the main protagonist in the movie Prey. If you're not familiar with Alien vs Predator or either of the franchises, Prey was a new prequel to the Predator movies, and since Predator is an MKX guest character, I really thought they were going to use her likeness in MK1. I could have seen Naru being like a skin for the female Nightwolf character, similar to how we had Carl Weathers' Jax in MKX. I honestly don't despise Kotal Khan, he's just one of those characters that's lower on the totem pole for me. I'm just kicking the rock around and having fun with it. I do see a lot of people crap on Deborah, and she's one of my favorite antagonist characters. Now, whether we get a Chitin or Deborah in MK1, which is pretty possible because it looks like there's a lot there for her, apparently her information has been there for a long time, like since the beginning. With that being said, that might be working against her favor. I would say at this point, NRS is definitely having fun with putting information in the files for data miners to see and share, because MK is very well aware of people sharing what's being data mined now. But I'm going to share this. A lot of stuff that has been data mined has came to fruition, and if that's the case, give my girl a little love. I don't know why so many people don't like her. I want to say I don't know why so many people don't like her, but I have a feeling it's because of how many protagonists she has taken down while being a new character in the series. I need to get to the point and share that if she is going to be in the game, it's most likely looking like she's going to be a cameo character, which honestly I think is perfect. I don't think she needs to be a playable main character or needs to fill any part in the story right now. As a Deborah fan, I can share that. I mean, she's been in MKX, MK11, and she's had pretty significant roles in both games. Even if she doesn't make it in the game as a playable character or a cameo, which again, most likely it looks like it's going to be cameo, I'm not going to be upset because she did have a lot of spotlight in the last 2 games. And if I had to pick between the two, which I think she would be a better fit for, I want to say Cameo just because of those reasons, but I also think that she would make like a great main roster character because she could play similar to Natara for the air combat. That being said, if they don't bring air combat back in the next game, this is going to feel like such a missed opportunity. I think air combat should stay, or at least be in more games than not. I love air combat. This little fact went over my head, and maybe they'll change it, but I didn't know that Field cannot be played online during King of the Hill. Dude, that really sucks. I really looked forward to getting this stage so I could play it online with everyone. Don't get me wrong, it is a very beautiful stage, but it seems like it's only going to be a stage I'm really going to lab on, and I don't know how often I'm going to lab there because my labbing stage is Cage's Mansion for the music, and it does have a nice little flamingo in the background. Now, for those of you that are just learning about this as I did, at least you can play it in a private versus match. Unfortunately, it's not going to work in King of the Hill though. If they don't make this available for King of the Hill, I'm not going to feel like I'm missing out as much because I don't use the Sub or Scorpion cameo. At the same time, this calling card is really cool. I think it's amazing, and not just for bragging rights because it's new as a calling card to use. There's still people out there fighting Floyd that aren't able to beat him, and I just want to share that from what I've seen, you are not alone. For anyone that's critical of themselves or their gameplay performance, I hope you don't. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a few people out there that thought it was a simple fight and probably did have a simple fight with it. But generally speaking, I think it's fair to say this is a difficult fight, and it's going to be a difficult fight for most players. I'm seeing a lot of people say if you complete 10 challenges, they're getting the fights. For example, do the challenges with the characters you don't normally play as and knock those out early, and save some of those easy challenges for the last challenges that are likely going to get your encounter with Floyd, so you can use your main character for the fight. Now, if you're looking at your chart and you notice that some of these challenges aren't working for you, I would suggest checking out Dynasty's live stream where he played last night, running through a lot of the challenges. You can see how certain ones weren't working out, but then some of them did. It is a good opportunity to see some challenges and how finicky some of them are. I was in his live stream last night and it was a really enjoyable watch. Also, during the live stream, it was very kind of him to throw me a shout out. Dynasty, if you see this, much love. Thank you so much. I'm sure most of you know who Dynasty is, but if you don't, you really should check out his channel as well. I was watching Dynasty long before I became an MK YouTuber. So again, if you see this, man, I do appreciate you. Keep up the great content. Unfortunately, I had technical difficulties trying to go live last night. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze on for a few fights after this video uploads. Like, comment, subscribe to support, and I will see you live and or in the next video. Much love, everyone. Take care.